Once upon a time, in a mystical place called Elarinthi, a forest that most Fais were born in, and a girl named Enya was one of the many Fais that was born in Elarinthia. This little Fai scared and surprised a lot of other being living in Elarinthia. However, that was only because she didn't show any signs of having any emotions. The other kid Fais called her a freak and word. She was called the Emotionless Fai. Even though Enya was showing signs of being a threat to the community and Earth, that didn't stop Queen Alindra from trying to protect her new part of the family, and she supported Enya, but still Trito asked the Earl Court to help her and make sure Titania is alright without any emotions. Queen Alindra had long light green hair with purple streaks in it, and she had purple eyes with black crosses as her pupils, and her skin was light green, and she wore a dress that was light purple and light green with so many layers of different gems on the outside, and she wore a beautiful, stunning white crown on her head. When Queen Alindra brought Enya to the Earl Court, the first person that she had laid her eyes on was a woman with a white mysterious hat on her head that had covered her face, and she had long blonde hair and wore a white gown. It was only then that this mysterious woman walked slowly toward Queen Alindra and Enya. As her high heels hit the floor over and over, Enya hears a faint voice coming from the women. "Hello, Your Majesty," the women said. "I see you brought the kid like we agreed," and a faint smile plays on her lips. "Follow me, Your Majesty," the woman said as she bent down to talk to Enya, and she smiled and said, "Hello there, Mrs. Enya. My name is Lady Erilyn," she said, smiling at Enya, and Enya responded with, "Hi, name is Enya," with no emotions showing at all on her face. Lady Erilyn stands up and turns to Queen Alindra and says, "You were right, bring her to the Earl Court tonight." Lady Erilyn smiled and said, "Please follow me." As the three walked to the big door down the hallway, Queen Alindra was afraid of what the judges would say about Enya's condition. She needs to be killed. Or maybe she must be banished from Elarinthia. No, they wouldn't say that, right? Maybe or maybe not. However, while Alindra was afraid, Lady Erilyn was happy and grinning as they walked to the big door. Once the three had made it to the huge door, fiend of the hallway, Erilyn said, "You first, Your Majesty," and Lady Erilyn bowed and Enya walked in first, followed by Queen Alindra. Now they were in the Earl Court. They walked to their post seat and sat down. Enya, still emotionless, didn't really care what would happen to her. Queen Alindra scared and afraid of what would be Enya's fate, and even though she was afraid, it was too late to go back now. All she knew was that Enya's judgment will come soon. Sooner than you'd expect. Just a few minutes later, lights came on and lit up the entire court, and the two saw 4 people walking through the huge court door. 1 boy and 3 girls. One oft people said, "Judgment Day is here, and I heard that we have a troublesome situation of a fae without any emotions," and another voice said, "Yes, that is correct. The name of our judgment today is a little young fae named Enya." One of these people had long light blue hair with light purple streaks in it and had glowing light blue eyes. This person also wore a pair of dark blue sky-like glasses and wore a cyan blue dress. They also had worn a light blue hat on her head, a very small hat. And it seemed to be a girl. Enya watched the lady go to her judgment post seat and say, "I begin the jury trial for a girl named Enya with a rare condition of emotionless instability. Does anyone object the trialto beginning right now?" A man sat up on the sideline of the post and said, "I oblige the motion of beginning the trial now," the man said. The man had short hair that was dark blackish blue, and he had diamond blue eyes. He had light blue skin and wore a light blue jacket over a darkish blue shirt under it, with darkish blue pants on. Next to him stood a woman with dark red hair that was long, and she had ruby red eyes and black pupils. The lady also had goldenish skin and wore a gray dress that looked royal, but gave snake vibes. The woman said, "I second the statement of beginning Thetrial now as well." Enya sat there just listening to the 3 judges speak, and she looked at the door and thought of being called a princess and a freak. However, this didn't make her show any emotions. Instead, she sat there and watched the judges speak more and more, until the trial finally began. Lady Erilyn said, "Your Majesty, how long has Enya been showing 0 emotions?" And Queen Alindra said, "Since she was born, Mrs. Erilyn." I see. Has she been aggressive to any of the other kids? Or showing any signs of being insane? No mom, I see. And does she have any other problems? No. Not that I know of. All right. Can we ask her some questions? Nervous Queen Alindra said, of course you can, and Lady Erilyn laughed and said, thank you, Your Highness. Now Mrs. Enya, have you felt any emotions before? Enya fidgeted with her fingers and said, no, I am told that I'm worthless and stupid, but this don't bother me. Instead of getting phased and angry, I am emotionless on the spot and don't care at all. I see. All right Mrs. Enya, I need to ask no more questions. Lady Erilyn kept talking to the three other judges and they finally stopped muttering and whispering. After about 5 minutes passed, Lady Erilyn walked up to her spot and she shouted out the words firm and clear. Mrs. Enya will be declared therapy friendship, and Enya's mind asked the question, what is friendship therapy? Next to Lady Erilyn was another post, and on this post was the light ocean like blue-headed woman, and she said, yes, Mrs. Enya will be getting friendship therapy. This therapy is when we give you 2 or more friends made from your imagination. She went on to say, these friends are made for us to see and observe any changes in your emotionless behavior. And if you happen to all of a sudden feel emotions, then your therapy friendship is over and the friends you create will be killed. Next to the girl's post on the left was another post with a man judge at it, and he said, this is what me and the other judges agreed on. Next to him stood yet another post to his right, and this post had a woman standing on it, and she had red hair and wore a dress that gave snake vibes. And she said to Enya, Mrs. Enya, you must think of what you want your therapy friends to look like, and on sale do that, then hold your hand out wide open and say these exact words. She went on to say, thy friendship, thou grant. Enya said okay, and then closed her eyes to think of something bright and happy, well as happy as it gets for her. Finally, after 3 minutes she thinks of 2 designs on her friendship therapy friends, and she hold her hands out wide open calmly and she says slowly, thy friendship, thou grant. Afterward, 2 figures spawn in front of her and she opened her eyes. Figure 1 that spawned in front of Enya had light pink hair that had streaks of light cotton candy blue in it. This figure also had darkish and lightish eyes, and had dark pink circles for her pupils. The figure also had an old brown villager dress on. She also wore a backpack that was the color of gray, pink, and blue. This figure said with a smile playing on her lips, hi, I'm Liz. Figure 2 that was in front of Enya's face had light pink skin and short lightish pink hair with black streaks in it. She also had lightish pink eyes with red skulls in them. Figure 2 also wore a white dress that was Japanese cultural. This figure also had a tan orange button on her face, on her right cheek. She also had a lightish pink tail. And she said, hello, my name is Thera. It's nice to meet you. Enya opens her eyes slowly and says, hello, my name is Enya. Then Enya grabs both of their hands and run out into the court's courtyard, and she knows that she'll have people to help her out on the horrible and dangerous situations they get into. The 3 continue in Toad Night, and that day was both sad and happy. Enya made her first friendship.
The pain I felt is pain.